Vortex, I want to show you this. It says caution, wide right turns. I find that funny. And the reason why I find that funny is because it's kind of obvious that a big ass truck like that is going to make a much wider turn than the rest of us. But I find it especially funny because of how many people. This is something that I have yet to bitch about on stage, and I really ought to, because I'm pretty sure that a lot of people will relate to it and agree with it. But there are plenty of people that make wide right turns that have a tiny ass car, okay? Plenty of people that it takes them as long as it would take this truck to turn right, okay? And I wonder if they think that they're in a semi. You know how like trans people think they were born in the wrong body? It's like, do you think that somebody that drives like a, I don't know, a Honda Civic or a Prius, possibly, they think that they're in a semi, which is why it takes them 10 minutes to turn right? Is that a good bit? I feel like that's a really good bit. That's got legs. That's got legs. Will we run now? Will we run or will we walk? Look at propaganda, dude. Look at propaganda. He's fading out now. He's fading out. He's drunk, dude. He's fucking trashed. I don't know where he's getting that booze, but he's an alcoholic. They find a way. They always find a way, dude. You know this girl that approached me last night? She asked me where she could catch me next time. And the thing is, a lot of people have asked me that because they just assume that I do comedy a lot. And that's why I'm trying to force myself to do it. Like the show that I was on last night, I ran into Coco at the East Room and I asked her about her show. And she was like, do you want to do comedy? Like, I'll put you up. And I said, yes, I do. And that was such an exciting story, wasn't it? But yeah, that's all it really is. You know, you don't have to have talent to get booked. You don't have to be funny to get booked. You just have to talk to people and you'll get put on shows. You know, you just have to show that you're willing to put in some kind of an effort. And they'll help you out. But I definitely bring something different to the table, which is why people are willing to do that for me, even though I'm pretty offensive. You know, like, I'm nowhere near as offensive on stage as I am on this channel. I mean, that's why people subscribe and then immediately unsubscribe. And I hate it when people tell me that they like offensive comedy and, oh, I can take it. I can take it. Try me. Everybody gets offended by something. It takes a much stronger person with a lot of character to get over that. You know, whatever offended them, whatever they heard that they didn't like, it takes a stronger person to ask themselves the question, why was I offended by that? What triggered me about that? What does that offense prove about me that I don't want to see? Is there something I need to work on? Possibly. But hey, I mean, stuff is offensive. offensive. I'm not saying that it isn't offensive. I mean, a white person saying the N-word is just offensive because, you know, it is what it is, you know? But, like, to be able to just get over that and be like, you know, it's okay that this person offended me, or it's okay that they said something that I didn't like, and be able to move on from that. Like, I think that takes a lot of character to do that. And nowadays, there's an actual reward that people get from being offended, you know? And that's what people don't understand about it. That they don't get that the reason why people are so easily offended and overly sensitive is because they're rewarded online for being upset about absolutely nothing. You know, they get points. They get points whenever they go online and they say, this person said this, can you believe that they said this? Can you believe that they were allowed to say this? Blah, 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 blah. Angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji, angry emoji. I don't think I'm saying the word right. But yeah, like, it's just crazy that, like, people don't see that that's why it's happening to the extent that it is, you know? But I guess you have to be an outsider. I guess you gotta live flip phone life in order to really grasp the magnitude of the psychological manipulation. Okay, let's see how long it takes them. Let's see how long. Oh, hey. Hey, isn't that beautiful? We love that Symmetra. Okay. A mixer. It's a mixer, right? It's a mixer. Okay. See, that was not even that long, dude. I was behind a tiny-ass car. I don't know what kind of car it was. It was a loser car, okay? I was behind a tiny-ass car. I know, I'm one to talk. I'm in a Mini Cooper. But yeah, I was behind this car, and they were making a right-hand turn into a fucking shopping center or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And it's like, they use their turn signal, so I can't bitch about that. But it's like, yeah, I know you're turning right, because it's taking you a really long time, you know? This is my favorite song on this album. Everything I'm not made me everything I am. So true. So true. I was thinking about that all day. Like, you have to overcompensate. You know, at least I do. I've had to overcompensate. You know, there's a lot of things that I wish I was, but I've had to just accept that I'm just not normal. You know? I'm not normal. You know, I'm not the type of person to do A, B, and C, but I can do D, E, and F because I can't do A, B, and C. You know? And so it's kind of stupid to be like whining about how I can't do A, B, and C, because then I'll lose the opportunity to do the rest of the alphabet that people that do A, B, and C aren't going to do, because A, B, and C is time consuming, you know? I'm talking about marriage, I'm talking about having children and all that. Now, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of mentally ill people that have children. I mean, Kanye is a great example. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for being part of this video. Thank you for contributing. You don't even know how important you have been in my life. Goodbye.